Yeah. Boosie a snitch. What? Boosie be threatening folks. What? Oh my God. Y'all, we have got to get in this paperwork. Let's get into this paperwork and that San Diego story as to why Boosie is just now being released and the reason why they wanted to keep him uh, in custody until trial. But baby, y'all read this story, y'all do the paperwork, y'all tell me what y'all thinking about it. Cause I'm telling y'all, I was really rooting for him. I'm super glad that my boy is out. But the problem that I'm really having is the fact that Vlad TV is the one who got this story. I didn't get this story from his thing, but I see that he's the only one who has a story. But why? Why are you so intrigued with you ain't went behind nobody else's story hurrying up ready to post on nobody else's story? What is this about? What is was Vlad working with the police or something during this time to make sure that Boosie got out so that he can know he gonna get the first interview or something? I don't know. Yeah, I don't like him. I just don't like his motives and how he do. Cause like they said on the last one, they don't hang out, they don't do nothing, they only really just do interviews together. So why are you so intrigued now? So he probably finna pay him probably about 100,000 for a god doggone interview so he can incriminate himself some more. I do not like this. But anyway, let's get into this paperwork. All right. It says, in this case, a review of the factors lead the court to find that the bond conditions and proposed bond are insufficient to secure Hatch appearance in court in this district. Hatch also poses a danger to the community. The nature and circumstances of this offense are detailed in the complaint, and the United States submits that the evidence against the defendant is strong, although the weight of the evidence is the least important factor. Specifically on May 6, 2023, a law enforcement officer viewed an individual later identified as Hatch filming a music video in what appears to be a backyard of a residence. Law enforcement in an airborne unit found Hatch in the same area of the Lincoln Park neighborhood as seen on the Instagram live video near 49th Street and saw him enter rear passenger seat of the Buick Mercedes SUV. Law enforcement maintained a visual on Hatch until he was stopped in the SUV. As officers were attempting to stop, the driver of the vehicle did not immediately pull over. The driver appeared to delay the stop and kept rolling at a slow rate of speed. While officers were behind the vehicle, this delay would have allowed additional time for Hatch to try to hide the gun that was seen on him in the Instagram video. While attempting the stop, officers saw the head profiles of Hatch and an individual later identified as his security guard moving back and forth inside the side. When the vehicle was finally pulled over, officers found a firearm in the black bag of Hatch security guard. Officers also found a firearm on the rear passenger near between Hatch and his security guard. Firearm was loaded and matched the description from the Instagram live video. Hatch claimed that the firearms belonged to his security guard, snitching, but Hatch's prior statements revealed that this was a well thought out plan to arm himself and then hide the truth from law enforcement. In Exhibit 1A clip of a podcast episode that was provided to the court and played during the detention hearing, Hatch provided a response to what happens if he is pulled over and police find a weapon in the vehicle. Hatch explains that this happens plenty of times, and another occupant of the vehicle will say it's his guns when they come to the car. That's what they do. Defendant's statement while in custody here indicate that his plan was to lay blame at the hands of someone else for the firearm. In this instance, it was his security guard. The Exhibit 2A clip of Hatch statements in custody. Hatch reportedly attempted to shift the blame to his security guard, while Hatch falsely claimed that both firearms were found in the security guard's bag and not on the seat. He did admit that he had to put the firearm on there for the video. The video as shown below. The firearm was found on the seat between Hatch and his security guard. During the clip, Hatch also admitted that there was a marijuana smell in the car and that he was rolling a blunt. Hatch poses a danger to the community and specifically to witnesses and evidence. Damn. The United States is extremely concerned about witnesses' intimidation. After he was interviewed by detective, Hatch was returned to the park to the parked police vehicle, and his security guard was in an adjacent police vehicle. Hatch was heard yelling and berating his security guard for telling the police that the gun was on the seat. Multiple officers overheard Hatch threatening his security guard for not taking responsibility for the guns. The officers overheard Hatch tell his security guard that you're gonna be in a body bag. Another officer overheard Hatch tell his security guard something along the lines of, I got 10 on your head, or I got 10K on you. This was not an accident or a happenstance crime. Hatch intentionally coordinated the transportation of firearms into the Southern District of California and the Lincoln Park neighborhoods. Hatch knew he was prohibited from owning or possessing a firearm and tried to circumvent this with a well thought out plan. Hatch followed the playbook that he laid out in the podcast clip. See Exhibit 1. And when Hatch believed his plan had gone awry, he took additional steps to threaten and intimidate a witness. The factor favors detention. The history and characteristics known to the United States about Hatch are that he is employed as the performance artist. He has a estimated net worth of several $1 million and has significant funds to flee. It appears that he sometimes works off the books and is paid in cash. Hatch was found with approximately $16,000 in cash during his arrest, according to defense counsel. Hatch is a loving father and a devoted to the community work. This factor favors bail. Hatch has a stable residence in Atlanta, Georgia, and residential history in the United States. This factor favors bail. So, did Boosie snitch? Did he threaten somebody? Is Vlad been on this case from the beginning for some reason? I say yes to all of the above. You know better than to be talking like that in front of police. And if you so real upon real, why you just wasn't real with them police to not let for them to not know that they have watched you from the air because they said they was airborne, which means that somebody sent your live to the San Diego Police Department, which caused them to put a helicopter in the air to find your location, watch you, then send officers to come and pick you up. Why do nobody don't understanding what is going on with why you did all the things that you do not like somebody to do to you, which is snitch. You did not have to say in front of the officers, yeah, this in your bag, this, that, and the third. Like, they watched you try to tell a story that they saw for themselves from the beginning. They watched you get in the car from the video shoot where they saw on live that gun was in your back. it's mighty funny that the gun is no longer in your back after they watched you get in this vehicle. Then you want them to believe that not only was it not in your bag, but it was in the bag and that it belonged to somebody else, all within the same time frame. Like, you gotta understand, like, the police is not finna allow him to tell this lie simply because they have way too much evidence about that. So yes, I'm upset that Boosie did what he say he can't stand nobody else to do, which is snitch, because that's what you did. You tried to snitch when you really was telling on yourself, which was dumb. So I really don't understand. Yes, you snitched on him, you snitched on yourself, then you threatened this man. You got 10K on his head because the police officers is not going to let him tell a lie that they have complete evidence on, which really means that they was planning for your lockup, because the state clearly dropped all your charges because the feds instantly intervened into that and told them, y'all drop these charges because we finna bring a federal case on him. So I don't know, but I'm glad you out, buddy. Boosie, please try to stay out. I need you to. They say you were praying and said you had prayed how you got out. So I'm gonna need you to pray that God change some things around for you, because it's gonna take him and a miracle to send his angels to go and recorrect some stuff in that paperwork and to mess up their videos and all that stuff. Baby, I don't know, but hey, we glad you out, buddy.